So there's another Kickstarter currently going on. It's the next-gen N64 controller, Retro Fighters.
And holy
controller.
shit, did it take fucking long enough for someone to come up with this idea?
So it's already reached the goal. It's 114,000 of 13,000 goal, 3,800 backers, 23 days to go. What exactly is this? So you got your N64 controller with a slightly different layout here. So traditionally on your N64 controller, you would have your stick lower than the D-pad. The D-pad would be top left. They've switched it.
Well, they've changed the layout entirely. It's not a tri-handle controller. It's a two-handle controller. It looks like a traditional controller.
Traditional controller. It looks like the C buttons are a little bit larger. It looks like they added, let's see, dual Z triggers to back of controller.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, instead of the one.
So you can use whatever's comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm.
The analog
Turbo
stick
function.
is to the left, like a normal analog. Your D-pad is down towards the bottom. It looks more.
It's interesting.
It's a traditional controller for a system that never had a real traditional controller.
Sure.
My concern, and I think that's gonna.
It'll sell. I mean, it's selling,
and that's gonna sell.
I just personally don't see the large appeal for what is really looks like marketing as, it's called Retro Fighters, a fighting controller on a system that wasn't known for fighting games.
I think the name is
because it's designed like a fighting game controller.
Well, I think the name is a bad choice.
It doesn't matter. It hit its goal. It's not a bad choice if it hit its goal.
Well,
but I'm just saying it's
I'm just saying I think maybe you're looking at it wrong because of the name. You're going into it with preconceived notions. I think this is fantastic no matter what.
Well, it's good to have a different option because there are those now third-party N64 controllers that you can get for $14, $15 that look just like the original and function like the original.
But they don't.
Well,
I mean, the Yobo 64 controller with the PS2 analog stick is, for as cheap as it is, it's my favorite.
Well, my question on this is, what is this analog stick like?
Well, no, and this is where I'm going to go.
The big question mark.
Just like, and like I said, I'm not going to I'm not going to have the same concern with the all controller and not have the same concern with the Retro Fighters. My concern, once again, is this is still a third-party controller, and it's all going to come down to its functionality and how well it handles, how well it feels, and how well it controls. I think the layout looks great, and I think a lot of N64 enthusiasts are going to love finally having...
This would be more for me for playing like a 3D platformer or playing a Zelda game, maybe. You know,
I think this is going to be great for playing anything.
Not anything, because putting the stick on the left means your first-person shooter experience is out. For a game like GoldenEye, where most people use the analog as a mouse on the right and then use the left as traditionally on a keyboard to go up and back and strafe.
But I'm a lefty, so I guess I never did that.
But that's how most play it.
All right.
So that's where the really weird tri-wing design actually works on the N64 for games like that, where you can switch basically two different handles.
Well, so, that's fair enough, but I mean, there is room for a controller like
there
this.
is, but what I'm saying is that analog better be nice and have the same sort of feel to it. And that's where I think the jury is going to be out on that, because just from the looks at it, it doesn't look like the same sort of analog stick. It looks like something closer to a GameCube, just the way in how it's fatter and how it looks like it's stubbier.
Yeah, but I think that's nothing but good. I think if there was one problem with the N64 original stick, it was that it was too tall, too small, it's way too easy to blow out, and it was slippery. It was easy for your thumb to slip off of that N64 stick. But I think the true test for both of these controllers is simply going to be how reliable they are and how effective they are, since we don't really know anything about the manufacturing process.
No, but I did see, I'm trying to remember what I said, I did see someone that'll question the way the N64 analog is in terms of the shape, and how that shape was very particular to that analog, and how the stick was thrown in. and how this could feel different on this analog. That's what I'm saying. That's my big question to this. Is that sure if you got this literally for the I'm trying to think what Killer Instinct Gold, what other fighting games are on that system that aren't in a system that you can play.
This would be great for Mario Kart though. This would be great for snowboard kids. This would be great for any number.
You need analog for Mario Kart. If that analog does not feel right, toss it.
Right, but what I'm saying is as a person who manages Luna Video Games, I've
Two
sold...
locations, San Diego.
Yep, 2 locations, San Diego. Come by, say hi. As a person who has converted so many people over to the Yobo controllers that use an analog stick, circular, just like this, it hasn't affected many people's play styles.
Okay.
So I guess that's the standpoint I'm coming from. This particularity to this fucking shitty, slippery.
It's not slippery. There was grease and Cheetos on your thumb.
Not much. That stick is shit.
I can't remember how many times my thumb actually slipped off it. I'm being totally honest.
It's
I'm not
a garbage
I'm not trying to be contrarian. I honestly don't remember me playing GoldenEye and my finger slipping off the top of the joystick.
All right.
I just don't.
But it's just uncomfortable and garbage.
I'm just thinking this is going to be one of those controllers that this isn't going to be your one-stop shop controller for N64. I don't think it's going to replace the other layout. This is going to be a specialized controller for specialized games, and you're going to have to go back to your other one and play certain games. That's just my guts telling me that. But of course, I got to use it first.
But you know what my gut's telling me? Neither of us really like the N64, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
We don't hate the N64. It's just
we don't.
I don't hate the N64.
I'm pretty sure you've said some things more negative about it than that in the past.
Yeah, it was probably during the marathon where I was half asleep.
All right. Anyways,